I asked my fans to recommend some lesser known indie games, and this guy right here decided to ruin my day instead. He spread open his butackled cheeks and dropped a beet red triple dipped steaming hot chalupa turd directly into my soul. And now, the rest of you get to share in my pain. This does not even deserve a captain's log introduction because this is dead serious. The inside and outside tour I did a few months ago of my pussy, everyone on the internet, my mother and my father are angry at me. They're blaming it at me. It's my fault. I admit it. It's my fault. I want everything about my pussy off the internet. I'll send in defective mails. I'll send in thought police. I'll send in everything in my power. So yeah, please, get everything off the internet now. Curse the transphobes. Peace to everybody else. He fucked the girl out of me, also known as he bored the shit out of me, is one trans epic journey to garner sympathy from degenerate perverts on the internet after he hits the wall harder than Princess Diana's back teeth. Our prostate pudding pilfering protagonist Tyler finds himself in the midst of bottom's remorse after he took so much pipe in college that the Super Mario Brothers started falling out of his pimply butt. As is the fate of all twinks who can't lay off the free food court samples, she-male pattern baldness sets in, and those glory hole days where he could make a quick $3.50 sucking yam bag through a hole in a gas station wall were lost, like splooge in rain. This digitized dog fart of a Tumblr post, shamelessly pawned off on idiots as an indie game, is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass and don't even have the common courtesy to give them a reach around. This is the sort of pretentious indie hipster garbage that will make you long for the good old days of book burnings and makes Undertale look like the Count of Monte Cristo by comparison. But enough beating around the bussy, and onto the contents of this 40-minute long MS Paint slideshow of a game. Despite the immediate visual reference to End of Evangelion, this vile pustule on the ass of gaming is more reminiscent of the end of Evan's smelly dong, and this pixelated man sucking his own penis on a bench is the perfect metaphor for the self-flating bullshit that is to come. Did you ever wonder what it would be like to be a repressed homosexual who commits felonies in order to fund his private hoard of shart-stained extra large panties by kissing elderly men under the glistening urinals of your local Fuddruckers men's room? Well, first of all, ew, but secondly, do I have an award-winning free flash game for you? He fucked the bug into my snug little rug begins with our protagonist Tyler complaining that he has to skip eating meals in order to afford his itty-bitty titty Skittles, which, as it turns out, is not that big of a deal since 5 minutes later, he begins to consume all the protein he needs by gargling jizz. With the slightest effort, an even less convincing transhomosexual tricks Tyler into selling his donut hole to strange men, which he calls sugaring. For the uninitiated, sugaring is when a sugar daddy gives his sugar baby money in exchange for stuffing their butthole full of their sugar plums, then shooting hot sugar boogers all over their hairy back. Truly, love is love, and you're a bigot if you disagree. These two ruiners of Sunday dresses and their father's dreams then team up to sugar up a man so elderly that bystanders ask Tyler if that's actually his dad. Of course, it couldn't possibly be Tyler's father, as the developer's real father only spent time with him playing hide my finger in the bathtub, and that's why he turned out this way. Let this be a lesson to all of you. Your son can either catch the balls you throw at him in his childhood, or he can catch balls to his chin as a confused adult who predominantly votes Democrat. Our hapless homo then waits outside in the rain while his stubble-legged pimp gets railed harder than a white man in court after defending himself against a black attacker. The player is then reminded that the criminalization of prostitution harms trans women, almost as bad as the anal warts. You see, by making this perfectly normal exchange of man-on-man ham slam for cash app donations taboo, society has turned all sexual interactions into, well, ironically enough, trans actions, or micro-rapes as the narrator describes. These micro-rapes, performed by the Micro Machines man with his multi-pronged mulatto micro-penis, are the main menace malignantly maligning the trans community. He's got big rapes, little rapes, rapes with hats, even rapes from around the world! This begs the question, do we, the players, owe the game's creator a micro-rape in exchange for playing this for free? Thankfully, the world may never know as nobody actually played this turd of a game. Kino-loving auteurs take note. No music or sound accompanies these dire revelations because having audio would have actually required effort. He chucked the seed out of my Sneed is a failed attempt of a DeviantArt post transitioning into an actual game. The highlights of this insult to my intelligence are the perverted sex messages sent to our wide-backed, felonious fart felcher by the same sort of subhuman cowfuckers from India who will inevitably roll over their grandfather in bed, eat a handful of month-old curry off of the floor, then scrape the cow shit off of their monitors with a stolen Target gift card, just long enough to set this video as adults only. I don't even care, Rajesh. I eat your god with lettuce and tomato on a sesame seed bun. Then I fuck your mother right in the bob, you bloody bastard! I bloody you! I'd also like to mention the attention to detail present in this delightfully decadent descent into one man's dingus-dolloped derriere. Our game's glorious creator, Tyler, blessings be upon his dead name, made his self-insert character look like a Pac-Man ghost because he understands statistics and was contemplating his future. When a new character realizes that he could have inadvertently raped Tyler, it's not because he could overpower our refrigerator-shaped hairy-ass heroine, but because as someone who identifies as a woman, Tyler technically doesn't have the intelligence required to give consent. And at the end, Tyler recoils in disgust as a shroon confesses his undying love, as even Tyler wouldn't want to have sex with a man's gritty bunghole for free. And Tyler is struck with the sudden revelation that he got pimped out by a fat man in a wig who spent the money on those pesky child porn Japanimations that Chews keep trying to force upon our children via Discord. Much like an actual rape, this metaphorical sniff of your grandmother's decades-long unwashed piss flaps lasts for less than a half of an hour, but will keep you up at night, dry heaving for decades to come. I'd rather press my nuts into perfect cubes with a ball-peen hammer than replay this insult to life itself. In summation, I would rather fuck a troon's hairy ass than replay this game, because at least then the shit would be on the end of my cock instead of foreverly staining my soul. God is dead. We have fucked the girl out of him. Damn ye! Let prostate cancer strike ye dead, Tyler! Ye can't just suck 500 cocks then get a free pass by making a low-quality indie game about depression. It didn't work for Zoe Quinn and it won't work for you! Hark! Bellow! Bid your father who you resent rise from his lazy boy recliner, full foul in his fury, blacked waves, teeming with salty milk, to smother this young bussy with pungent slime, to choke ye, engorging your colon till ye turn blue and bloated, with bilge and free salad work samples, and can report my streets no more, only when he, festooned in striped socks with slithering cat-girl butt-plug tail, and steaming stubble take up his fell be-tucked balls, his coral tine dilator screeches banshee-like in the basement, and plunges right through your O-ring, bursting ye, a bulging boy pussy no more. What a blasted, bloody film now, and nothing for the trannies, and the souls of the 42%ers to peck and claw and feed upon, only to be lapped up and swallowed by chasers. Forgotten to any man, to any time, forgotten to any god or Discord moderator, forgotten even to the Kiwi Farms, for any stuff or part of Tyler, even any scantling of your soul is Tyler no more, but is now itself, pussy. Well, that's it for today's video. If you want to see more videos like this, consider becoming a Patreon. YouTube keeps deleting my videos, and Patreon now allows me to upload videos directly to their servers. even the ones that Susan doesn't want you to see. You can also support this channel by checking out my comedy novels Europe, Hillary's Invasion, Europe 2, Barack's Apocalypse, or my mystery novella Split in Two. Every time I sell an ebook, paperback, hardcover, or audiobook, it's worth about 3 micro rapes, which I can then exchange for tacos. I also strongly advise you spend some quality time with your son so he doesn't grow up to be like Tyler, aka the Augustus Gloop of Gobbling Goop, while he and Charlie explore a completely different kind of chocolate factory. Thanks for your time and goodbye!